Hey guys, this is Rise, and I'm here with Cholera. I'm actually Diggity's replacement. I hope that doesn't upset too many people, but that's the case. I am here to do some commentaries with Cholera, and this one is Best versus Hoejja. That's right, Hoejja himself, the man of controversy. There's been a lot of talk about this kid lately. Some good, some bad, mostly bad for me. Some good from a lot of other people, and nobody knows what to expect from him right now because he's played some really bad games, but he's played some really good games. And if you look at his record, you'd be like, wow, he's not a really good player, but yet he's played some really good games. So nobody really knows what to make of him right now, and now he's playing against Best. So if he can beat Best, maybe, just maybe, I'll start to respect him, but not before then. One good win, not necessarily. It could just be a fluke. Cholera, what are your thoughts on this situation of Hoejja?
Well, Hoejja has actually beaten Savior in the GOM-TV round of 64, 2-1. So before you guys start hating on us for making fun of Hoejja, which we will because his name is funny, and he's a Hoejja, kidding. Ja, man. He's a German ho. That's what it is. Hoejja. All right. Before you start saying that, he did beat Savior 2-1 in the GOM-TV 64, but everyone's beaten Savior in the GOM-TV round of 64. It's like a rite of passage for young Korean pro gamers. Beat Savior, make him cry, and then move on to, you know, the A class of players. Anyway, we're going to be seeing a 9 pool here coming from Hoejja. The best of Protoss for Best. By the way, this is the 3rd time we're starting our commentary in the interest of full disclosure. We did watch up to about 2 minutes, so about now, because my computer, even though it's very fast, is also kind of screwy right now, and I'm gonna fix it later on. But anyway, we're gonna see that Best is gonna scout this. He went for an early scout, which is the correct thing to do on a 2-player map, and he's gonna be going for a Forge Fast Expand.
And in the interest of full disclosure, I am naked. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not really naked. Although, I have done it in the past, a couple of times, commentaries. I hope you guys don't mind. I hope that doesn't make you guys feel uncomfortable. Oh, look at that! American commentator love, but look who's left out crying! Oh my god, I feel so bad.
Oh man, who is this guy? I just realized that. Yeah, we saw that before. Clazer, Diggity, Cholera, and Moltrap, and Rise! And Rise!
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, look, another white guy! I don't know, but he's looking for Flash versus Fantasy. Give him a 4 set. You know what? That would be a good game. That would be an epic TVT, actually, and I'd like to see that. I just watched a game of Flash versus Washin, and it was the first-person view of Flash, and it was amazing. I can't believe how I mean, I've seen a lot of quick players, but Flash has got to be one of the fastest I've ever seen play in my life, and he made Washin look like a chump. I mean, he went battle cruises in a TVT against them, and I guess I just spoiled it. I don't care. It was amazing. Go watch it, and he just destroyed Washin, hands down, no questions asked. Still, worth watching if you want to see a pro gamer's first-person view. Looks like the expansion is now going down for Hoejja. Looks like we did see a Forge Fast expand for Best on the other side. I don't know if he's got a Nexus down yet. He's got that Probe Scout trying to keep that alive. There is a Nexus. Okay, so it did get that down. It looks like he actually got a Gateway down very soon. I don't know if it was before his second cannon or before the first cannon, but it's going to help with the defense a little bit. He's going to start popping out some Zealots and working on his tech. Hoejja has some speed links now, though, so he takes down that Probe Scout, and maybe he's going to go for a run-by of some sort. It's going to be tough, though, with only one hatchery, but he could potentially try to pull something off like that.
There's only one cannon, too, let's not forget. I don't know how sturdy that wall is or how link-proof it is because we've got speedlings, and is there just one cannon? I'm pretty sure there's only one.
Yeah.
We did see Hoejja also resuming his gas mining, which is definitely irregular if he was going for a macro build. He's definitely going for a lair. That means, no! He's actually going for a 2-hatch Hydra break. Oh, wow, this is a very all-in move here. Usually it is all-in because 2-hatch Hydras is one of the fastest rushes you can pull off beyond, you know, a 5 pool against a Protoss. We've got ourselves here another cannon. It's halfway done. Doesn't look like Hoejja is going to go in right now. There's Best transferred probes. You could certainly use them to help fight off some of the threats. But we're probably going to see speed coming up, speed and range, and then we're going to see a lot of Hydras. Or actually not a lot. We're going to see maybe 4 or 5. And we're going to see if he can end the game. Actually, he might be doing this because look at the cannon positioning. That cannon positioning is incredibly awkward. And there's only one cannon. That's a really awkward position. And if he can prevent Best from scouting this, he could pull this off because that cannon's not going to do anything against the Hydras.
I got to agree with you, man. I see this as being a very successful attack, a very successful rush for that matter. And I got to say, I like two-hatch Hydras. I love seeing it pulled off because a lot of times the Protoss player has no idea about it. But you're right. It's all about that scout. If he gets that scout off, Best will be prepared because he'll put down a crap ton of cannons regardless of how many Hydras are coming. He'll just keep building cannons, keep building cannons, keep building cannons. He'll go High Templar, and he'll be able to defend it eventually. But if he doesn't know it's coming, he's just going to go for his typical Stargate, get the Corsair out, then start scouting with the Corsair, and it's like, all right, maybe I'll see what's going on, but that Corsair's only coming out now, and the Hydras are already on their way. The second cannon now going down in a much better position, but I don't know if that cannon will actually be warped in before the Hydras get there, and the Hydras may be able to pick that off before that cannon even goes off, and then if that's the case, those Zealots are going to be microed like crazy. They're just going to be taken out with almost no effort at all from Hoejja, and this could be a brilliant strategy to pull off against Best. Best could be caught with his pants down. Although, what are the Hydras doing over there? I'm not actually sure. It looks like they're just kind of trying to stay out of range. And here they come now. They're going to start pushing up, and let's see if you can pull something off.
Wow, okay, he's going right for the cannon. Cannon goes down. Only one Hydra dead so far. Best is going to be in a lot of trouble here, to say the least. Second cannon trying to warp in, goes down. Best in huge trouble, but he still has that one cannon. He's got two more warping, and that one cannon's got great range on these Hydras. Hoejja, though, looks like he's going to be able to take down all the buildings up front, to say the least, and then maybe even finish off the game. I love two-hatch Hydras, too. Once in a while, there's certainly a build that really punishes the Protoss from assuming that he can go very heavy macro, the standard Protoss macro. Anyway, though, we're going to see Hoejja moving up. He picks off a Zealot. He's going to pick off some probes now. He's trying to pick off the Forge. No, he's going to go right for the cannons. I don't know if that's a mistake or not, though. He's taking a little bit too many hits on his Hydras, and I don't know what kind of tech Best is going to have, but I think Best might start going for some Templar attack. That's probably going to be eventually, if he can survive this, that probably will be the thing he wants to do. He's gotten down a lot of cannons here. I do not know if Hoejja has enough, but look, he's going for it. Best bringing the probes up. He picks off another cannon, but 5 Hydras died in that attack. That's actually not too good. I think what Hoejja should do is focus on the south part of that base, take out the gas, and then go for the Nexus. I don't think he should try to finish him off necessarily right now, because that might incur too many casualties. But we're going to have to see. Hoejja, as you can see, is very all in. If he doesn't win or do a ton of damage, obviously he has done a lot of damage, but if he doesn't do more damage even, he's still going to be very behind this game.
I agree, and I think that Best is actually going to survive this, but I don't know if he can win the game after this, because he's lost. One of the things that we haven't really pointed out is the fact that he's lost a ton of probes as he continues to try to block with them. He can't do much of anything, and now that Nexus does look like it's going to go down. New cannons warping in may have range, but that Nexus has already lost his entire shield and probably about half of its HP. And I mean, no, that Nexus is definitely going down, so Best is going to be in a hole here trying to dig his way out. And now it looks like Hoejja's going in straight for the cannons. One of the cannons goes down, but those probes doing a pretty good job of just stopping that attack. 4 cannons, a 5th one warping, and a 6th one going up. So again, it looks like Best is going to be able to defend this, but he's just going to be so far behind here. Another cannon go down, and this is where we're seeing just some random probes being picked off, which is going to hurt Best a lot more than it looks like. That one probe here, one probe there is just adding up, and I mean, every single probe that he loses is just investments that went nowhere. And as he's wasting so much money on these cannons just trying to stay in this game, it's going to be very difficult in order to get his tech up, to get other buildings up. Gateways cost the same amount as a cannon, and can he afford to put a gateway up instead of a cannon? I'm not entirely sure he can, but those probes doing a great job of catching those Hydras, and 4 more Hydras taken out. So already at this point we can see that Hoejja's attacks are starting to lose effect, and Templar Archives is going up. So we probably are going to see some High Templar, and actually, we're going to see DTs most definitely. Yeah. And it's going to be blocked, though, most likely by those Hydras and the Overlord over there. But if Hoejja just keeps losing Hydras here and there, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, and he's going in for another attack. He's taking out almost all the cannons, but he's losing Hydras very quickly here. Probes doing so much damage. Only 1 cannon left, only 1 Hydra left, though, and they go down. They get defended. And Best is going to survive this.
Wow, I gotta say, I mean, I think that a couple of times there, Hoejja could have just committed and he would have lost less Hydras because, look, every time he went in and sniped one cannon, he lost like 4 Hydras. I mean, honestly, I think with the reinforcements coming in, he could have been able to finish Best off, but we are going to see a slightly longer game. I can't believe Best has held this off. And let's not forget, Best was the one who came back from losing his natural expansion in that game against Luxury on Troy back in the OSL quarterfinals 2 seasons ago. Absolutely amazing comeback from Best, where he actually got his assimilators killed, so he couldn't get into his own natural expansion. He was playing one base versus Luxury. Luxury looked like he was going to take the series with that win, but no. Best comes back and does some crazy-ass Zealot drop and then just, you know, goes nuts afterwards and wins. So Best is definitely good at dealing with adversity. Meanwhile, Hoejja, I'm not sure if he should have gone for that lair so early. Maybe he's going to go for lurkers, but I think he should have worked on his economy a little more because his economy isn't great by any means. Now DT might be able to make it even worse. But the question is this. Look, I mean, what is he getting that lair for? I think he should have put down a 3rd hatchery first, and he really needs to do that still right now. But we'll see if he can do that in the near future.
Did you see that? Did you see that? He's actually picking away at that Nexus again. He's outraging the cannons, and it looks like he may get another Nexus to go down. I mean, oh man, there's just nothing to attack that. There's a DT over there, but there's nothing that DT can do, and that Nexus. Oh, I think he's gonna have to cancel it. I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna be able to make it. No, Probes and DT's going out after him. It looks like he's gonna push him back.
Wow.
That was a harsh attack right there. That was probably one of the most interesting unit compositions I've seen in a long time, and he did it just to buy enough time to get a new cannon down. And I think Best is actually going to manage to get that up. Yeah, because that new there's only 1 Hydra that's able to actually range it. No, 2. He manages to get 2 in range. But it looks like that other cannon will get up, and he'll probably force back that little group of Hydras at that point. And really, Best, he's in a tough position, but he's by no means out of the game because, like you were saying, he's got a lot in terms of, well, Hoejja does not have a lot in terms of economy, even though we thought he would at this point. So, you know, Best may be able to wiggle, you know, just get his way back inside this game.
Yeah, that would be a sick comeback, but I don't know. It looks like he might actually lose his expansion. Hoejja's done a good job of keeping his overlords alive. Oh, look at that, though. Nice block up front there by Hoejja. I really like that. And he's also got speed overlords. That's what he did go for. So he did go for lurkers. Interesting strategy. I guess, well, certainly Best is not going to be able to get observer tech. However, you know, I don't know. I mean, I could have seen 3 or 4 hatch Hydras work in afterwards too, but this is certainly one choice that could win him the game. Oh man, he's losing a lot of Hydras though. He definitely does not want to lose that contain force, which would allow Best to be able to just pick up his natural pretty comfortably. In which case he'll still be behind. That girl is both protecting herself against swine flu and making a fashion statement there with a panda face mask. And meanwhile, we're going to see some more lurkers brought up to the front. That lurker badly wounded. I think, yeah, Hoejja is still on just one expansion here. He's on 3 hatcheries, I think. I saw another hatchery inside of his base. And now he's going to try to do something sneaky. He's going to try to kill the temples and get behind Best's natural expansion. We haven't seen this yet, but this is definitely doable.
No, he's gonna trick him out. He's gonna unburrow them all at the same time and try to squeeze
them
across the
That's
mineral line. I don't think you can actually attack that temple. And no, he doesn't actually do it successfully, it doesn't look like. He'll probably try it again and again until he gets it. And you can see the frustration on his face as he tries to squeeze something through. Every second longer it takes gives Best a better chance of finding that. Oh, and you can just see him clicking like crazy trying to get through there, but he just can't seem to make it. But he does have Overlord speed, and that's more because of the Corsairs than anything else, but I wonder if he's actually going to be upgrading Overlord drop, because that would be very interesting. This is a good map, I think, to do drops on, especially later in the game. I don't know if we'll see it quite so early. Observatory up now at this point to deal with the lurkers, and again with that Templar Archives, we'll probably be seeing some High Templar coming out very shortly. But you're right, he's only on that first expansion, and if he doesn't get another base up soon, he is definitely going to start falling behind. If he hasn't already, I think that Best has already managed to get himself back in here. And look, actually, you can attack those temples. I was wrong. Sorry, I thought those were unattackable buildings. So it looks like he's going to force his way in another way, which was actually a lot easier than trying to get across the mineral line, apparently. And now he's going to try to take out some probes, but it looks like it's going to get scouted right away. Oh, because of his slow timing. Oh, how unfortunate for Hoejja. And it looks like I've lost Collar at this point. He did warn me that.
You haven't. I'm sorry about that. I've come back. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just pressed mute by accident. What he's done, though, you're absolutely right. He has messed up his timing a bit, and that means he didn't get any probes. He didn't get a chance to set himself up, unfortunately. And now Best has observers, so those 3 lurkers, that whole expedition has not gone well. Let's just put it that way. That was a pretty big failure of an expedition. They should have just gone for the temples,
pretty much.
Yeah. But right now, Best is clawing himself his way back into the game. I don't know, though. I mean, honestly, Hoejja still is in the lead by a pretty big margin. I mean, Best has his tech up, but Hoejja also has his tech up. He also has finally picked up a 3rd. But Best has a bunch of speed lots, and we know that a good speed lot attack can be very powerful against unupgraded Hydras, you know, without any assistance. But just look at the variety of tech. We've got some Mutalisks coming, although Best has prepared his main base for drops and Mutalisks by putting a number of cannons up. Looks like the Zealots are getting caught up a little bit with the Lurkers. They're going to find an undefended protection, unprotected expansion here, and let's see what they can do. It looks like not much, actually, because Mutas are coming.
How unfortunate for those Zealots. And man, I feel like I'm falling apart right now, this commentary. Best looking a little bit distraught there, not really able to figure out what he can do at this point. You're right. There definitely is a much more of a tech variety than I actually first had thought. And so I really thought he was actually still sticking with Hydras, and it looks like he actually is going to be going to Hive Tech at this point. Look at Flash. Flash, I don't even know if Flash is watching the game. I can never tell if that kid is actually like alive or what the hell he's thinking.
He's actually he's defragmenting his hard drives as we speak. Flash being the CPU turret. He's actually defragmenting his hard drives. Yeah.
That's probably a smart move because if he's playing fantasy in match 4, it's going to be pretty crazy. Look at that. Mutas are going in and they're taking out all the cannons, but there are 4 Corsairs. This is probably going to be bad for the Muta. They're going to actually have to head off 5 Corsairs. I was completely wrong there. Now we're starting to see a spread from those Muta, and not really the best attack from Hoejja after all. And it looks like he's going to try to reinforce with, oh man, he loses almost all those Muta. He tries to take out those Corsairs, but just not working out for him. And this is something that Best is just able to do. You know, he can get himself back in the game if he keeps doing things like this. And now he's got a pretty significant ground force as well with that Archon and Speedlot composition he's got. He could probably take out a base. And I mean, really, the Archon Zealot composition is fantastic because he can take out pretty much anything that the Zerg has. You know, I mean, there's not many units that is not good against other than Mass Lurker, but we're not seeing Mass Lurker at this point. We're just seeing Mass Hydra and Lurker trying to morph in time, but he doesn't have any. So this attack could do a lot of damage.
It definitely can. And wow, looks like a Nexus being discovered, but Mutalisks are not going to be able to handle it when there's 6 Corsairs. They were like reproducing in that middle of that battle. You saw like 4, and we saw 5, and then there was a 6th one. I was like, what? Are they having kids? So the reproducing Corsairs of Best. Yeah, gross. That's so weird. I don't understand. But anyway, Lurkers are on that cliff. I think that's going to help a lot in terms of the defense, especially when they have something blocking. Now, the problem here with Best is that he didn't have gas, so he doesn't have any High Templar for Storm. He just doesn't have the gas to be able to afford all that. He was without his natural for so long. So he's got Corsairs, but that means he doesn't have any Templars. And now we see a Hive finished for Hoejja. Not sure where we are in terms of upgrade balance between these 2 players, but I gotta think Hoejja can't be far behind if he is behind at all. +1 Carapace for Hoejja and +1 attack for Best. But Best is very good with his speed lots, I gotta say. I mean, he's won games against Zerg with pretty much just speed lots. Pretty manly thing to do, actually. He definitely is more manly than Bisu, I gotta say. Even though he wears glasses and he got a silly expression, Best is pretty manly compared to Bisu.
I don't know, but his hair clearly isn't nearly as good. But now we are seeing those Corsairs doing a lot of damage just around the map. I mean, they've taken out Overlords, they've taken out Mutalisks, they've taken out more Overlords, and it looks like they're just going to keep annoying Hoejja, and Hoejja is losing his handle on this game. Although he's got that Hive Tech up, he really needs a 4th base to fully exploit it. He's got the Defiler Mound going up, and he's got a lot of Lings that are going to be crack upgraded, but I don't know how his upgrades are. I haven't actually looked in a while. But, I mean, it looks like Best has +1 weapons. I can't tell.
No, they're about even. He has +1 characters.
That was not a hot girl. Why did they show that chick? That was gross. And, you know, he's got a great army, though, to go against Lings like this. He's got Zealot Archon. I mean, if you want to melt Lings, that's what you do. And now, I don't know what you're talking about, Collar. He's apparently got a ton of gas, as he's just made a ton of High Templar, although he just lost 2 very quickly. And there's Where's Waldo of Korea over there. No, well, all right, maybe not. It was black and white. But I wanted to make a Where's Waldo joke, you know. And so anyway, it looks like Hoejja is trying to do some harassment in return because he knows he is going to lose his handle on this game if he just keeps letting Best expand like that. And it's just not going to work out for him if he lets him do that.
Well, he has spotted the shuttle, so the shuttle is not going to have the element of surprise, to say the least. I think it might be damaged also. Not sure, but it looks like it had a DT inside, perhaps a High Templar also. I mean, yeah, I think this is going to be it's going to be very close. Best is doing a good job of picking up his 3rd and defending it. And he's got a couple DTs actually. He's got kind of an interesting combination, maybe a late game DT Corsair build. But I don't know if that'll work. It seems that we've gotten a good number of Hydras out, so that should be able to help defend. The thing is, I mean, Best just now has High Templar. He does now have the necessary number of High Templar, certainly, which is very good for him. We've got drop here. A drop coming from what's his face? Forgot his name for a second. And Hoejja is Hoejja. Hoejja actually, whoa, he's taken out the entire main base of Best. Let's not forget that. Certainly, no, not the 9 debris. Sorry about that. I thought for a second he did. I thought he spawned in the upper left. No, he's not taking out the entire main base.
Not fast
Just took out a couple cannons. Yeah. No. I thought for some reason, for a second, I thought he was at the upper left. But we could be seeing him take out the main base of Best. And Best, right now, looks like he is quite unhappy to see this. The cannons are all down. Oh, man. Cracklings are so good at taking down buildings. And Best is caught completely flat-footed here.
Pants are down, as is the Templar Archives, and half of that base.
Oh,
and I
man.
mean, even this force to try to fight this, I mean, it's going to have a tough time taking out all those units. He's got Hydra, he's got Crackling, he's got Lurker. I mean, that is just, it's devastating, and it looks very clear that it's devastating. Oh, look at that. Defiler Lings, it looks like he's looking to take out the bottom left as well, and there are only some Zealots to try to defend that. They're not going to
he's ahead in upgrades.
Of Cracklings, and he is ahead in upgrades. Oh, man, so this is going to be bad. Hoejja is going to win this game. That base is about to go down with Dark Swarm. That Nexus will go down in seconds. I love watching Cracklings just totally rip apart like piranhas a Nexus.
So
I mean, it's like a feeding ground for them, a feeding frenzy on a Nexus, and they just tear it apart. So Best is down to 1 Nexus right now in his natural expansion, which is more cannons than, I don't know, a pirate ship, something with a lot of cannons. And it looks like he's actually not going to be able to defend against this, especially now with Dark Swarm in the match. He's just got no way to fight this off much longer, and Hoejja looks like he is going to take this match after all.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Best has given it all he has, but really, I don't know. His deficit was just a little bit too big, even for the Best. No pun intended, to be able to come back from. And now it's grown way too wide. Nobody can come back from this. I mean, he's lost his main. He doesn't have an economy to speak of. 1 base, basically. And he's got this paltry force. I mean, it's not a paltry force. It's a pretty sizable number of High Templar in there. But if he can't win with this force, it's GG for him. And he's going to have to go do a massive amount of damage here. Absolutely massive amount. Bunch of Lings here in the back of the natural also. And, I mean, Best is forced to just be cautious because even though that's just a handful, 1 Defiler could allow them to kill the entire base because it's all cannons, and cannons are useless against Dark Swarm Lings. So, you know, that is certainly very powerful. There was actually some people who were asking me what Dark Swarm does. Someone, you know, some people don't know exactly what it does. It protects against all ranged attacks underneath it to keep it the story short. I mean, its splash damage does only splash. Ranged attacks do nothing underneath it. Melee attacks generally do full damage, though. And anyway, we're going to be seeing this last attack coming out for Best. So many Templar, but can he do it?
I don't know, man. I don't think there's any way that he can win at this point because really there are just too many cracklings, even with 6 levels of storm. 6, I mean, I don't know what you even call it. He's wasted 2 right there. That was a big mistake. Oh, but there are Reavers out. I didn't even realize he had 2 Reavers in that shuttle. Oh, Plague going off, though. So now, I mean, we're just seeing the power of the Defiler in the late game because really, Best's army is not expendable, but Hoejja's is. And another Plague. Every Plague that army sees means that it's just weaker and weaker, harder to reinforce. Shuttle goes down. Reavers are now exposed. We have only, 4 or 5 High Templar left in this whole grouping. Hoejja being very smart, sending his units in piecemeal. This is one time you want to send things in piecemeals when you're going up against so many High Templar. He loses a ton of units here, but guess what? High Templar are officially out of storm. He's making all Archons, and there is no way that this army is going to be able to stand up for much longer. More Lurkers coming down, and against plagued units, that's going to be the death of them. It looks like some Archons going down. I don't know what that Archon's doing. Maybe it's just morphing. And that's going to be it for Best, I think. I don't think there's any way for him to come back at this point. And I got to say, I got to give Hoejja some respect. Finally, Hoejja gets some respect. Nice job, Hoejja.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You got to give him. You said it. You promised it. You've got to give Hoejja respect now for beating a very good player. GG coming from Best. And we don't need to hear how he did it with a cheese build. Although it was a cheese build, 2 Edge Hydra is pretty damn cheesy. But he did it, and, you know, that's in the line of something I like to see, keeping the fast expanders honest. Because, honestly, we don't see enough players trying to keep the people who like macro honest. You know, people are picking up expansions way too easily. Flash used to do that. Remember 14 Command Center? That wave of Flash 14 Command Center kicking everyone's butt? It looks like the scary KTF mascot has got himself a scary female mascot girlfriend. Certainly pretty disturbing, and this could be a battle of the mascots. I think there should be one of the matches should be a fight between the 4 mascots. We got SKT1's got the good and the evil mascots, and KTF now has the guy and the girl mascots. They should have a brawl in the middle, 2v2.
And it's going to be like a hockey match. Pull the shirt over the head and just pound him in the face, you know? I got to say, Hoejja actually is a pretty big dude. Maybe he's more manly than I gave him credit for. I don't know. Why do we make so many gay jokes in our commentaries? That's the real question. Anyway, GG, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Looks like we got some more matches to do, so let's get to it.
Hoejja, give him a big hug. All right, let's go on. Game 3 coming up.